Dude, I took that diamond hard, but now I'm feeling absolutely schlumped.
Well, that's nothing fucking hypnotize me. Do it. Like, let's do it. Hell yeah. I only got the, I don't know. I gotta grow another 50 people to do it. We are all pretty stoned, so, you know, trying to stay on topic.
That means my desktop just leaked to everybody. That's cool.
Oh no!
Oh no, guys! All my
All your secrets.
free music. You guys can go find the names of them now. Welcome back, or welcome to the Joint Effort Podcast Weird Week with internet problems, homies. Don't you love it? You would think that in 2024, your ISP would make sure that you have internet, especially on weekend mornings, but I do have a lot of older neighbors. I'm probably the only one that wrote a complaint in. But I'm back. Podcast might be a little short because, you know, it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there who's a mother. Happy Mother's Day to the single fathers out there, because I always hear them say it in the reverse. So let's throw that out there real quick. Happy Mother's Day to parents in general, grandparents. Y'all do glorious things. Children are the future. I just hope that my children can grow 100%. Up into a world with a little less stigma, a little more understanding, and proper health and well-being.
Yes.
And I think that's part of what we kind of fight for on this podcast. So shout out to, again, the mothers in life for allowing for us to be here on the podcast instead of, you know, having the baby in arms. Would you lying if my
100%.
Baby in arms, guys?
Y'all gonna tell your mom to tell you love, bro. Cause I swear to God, if one for your mom, you gonna be watching this shit right now, bro. Don't be playing around.
Baby juice.
Go tell your mom you love her, bro.
100%.
Right, you haven't told her that
and
yet
if
today.
you still have the ability to call your mother and tell her that, that's a huge blessing.
Hop on that line, bro. Hop on that line.
Hop on that line.
There's got to be somebody out there that's seeing this and like, the mom don't want to talk to me because I smoke the weed and I do the things she don't like. No, she still want to talk to you.
Yeah.
She still want to talk to you.
Yes.
She grew up in a different generation, has some different thoughts in her head, but she still wants to talk to you. Call her up, guys.
Yes.
It's her day. That's what I kind of love about these days, right? As soon as you take that Hallmark aspect out of it and you throw that to the side, taking at least a day, remind yourself. You should do it more often, but everybody at some point in your life, give them a moment once in a while. Even if it's that best friend Larry you haven't seen in 6 years, but he kept you alive during some tough times. Call up Larry once in a while. Just tell him thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
You know?
People don't do that enough, you know. And it's a weird stigma. It's something everyone wants to hear, but everyone feels uncomfortable sharing, and you shouldn't. Like, tell someone they mean something to you. Reach out and say that. Be intentional. Like, it's matters so much, you know. Really does. People need to hear that, you know.
There's that concerning statistic that came up during Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, which for the first time ever felt like there was some sort of passion behind it, but I wasn't sure how legitimate the passion was because some of it seemed kind of backwards. But it talked about how a lot of men, the first time that they get flowers is when they what is it? The first time they're hugged in their adult life is by their child, and the first time they get flowers is at their funeral. It was like some messed up quote like that, and it's just like people need a hug. People need an item of appreciation. Sure, you can't walk up to everybody and hand them a flower, but
sure.
get to the day where maybe you can walk up to them and hand them some flowers. You know, and weed all over the floor. But that's okay.
It's fucking hilarious. We have to clip that. That is
Gotta
going to go
clip
on social
that.
media later.
For sure. For sure. It's okay, guys. That was
great.
some mid.
That was submit. It's cool.
It's cool. I wasn't sure I was ever gonna smoke that. That's why I'm not even picking it up. Remember all those
great.
days where you drop the weed though, and it's just like gotta get every little nug up.
Yes. Oh, I remember those days. Like you would be on your knees searching. Like I'm gonna find. I don't care if there's hair on it. I'm pulling that shit off. I remember those days.
I know this guy at Jesse's house a few times back in school days. Yes, I smoked illegally during the school days. If you haven't figured that part out yet, but regardless, Jesse,
Where you
would
been?
have like an eighth of flower max at a time. Yet would be inviting all these people over to smoke. We get there one day.
Yes.
Somebody must have taken his only eighth of flower. So he's just like, guys, I smoke every day. There's got to be enough on the carpet. You got 5 fucking 16-year-olds crawling around the carpet, picking up tiny little bits at a time.
Oh my gosh.
It ends up being like 2.5 we found over 45 minutes worth of work. Who knows how much hair and other shit was up in that blunt.
That's impressive though,
We
low
had to
key.
have a gram dropped off to finish.
Oh my lord.
So we paid $15
Wow.
for somebody to drop off a gram instead of just
Wow.
garlic. Wild. Fun.
Hey, you know what though? I've never seen a more inventive group that will find a solution than stoners that are looking for weed. Just
But-
like I've never seen a quicker mathematician than a stoner trying to figure out how many grams are in an eighth, how many grams. It's like they may not know how to do algebra, but they'll tell you how many ounces are in a pound, how many grams are in an ounce, how many. It's the
And like, bro, it don't matter, bro. Bro, you gotta have, like, bro. If there's no blunts, there's no joints, no bong around, it's gonna become something very soon. Whether it be an apple, whether it be a fat ass milk jug, whether it be like, bro, it don't matter. Cause even we gonna take the motherfucking the screws and shit out the motherfucking out the
Oh yeah,
out
dude.
the box, motherfucking anything, bro. Out the toolbox.
Oh yeah, we can build shit, and if you where there's a will, there's a way. And if you need something to smoke out of, if you need to find some grass on somewhere in your house, it's like I used to call that scrubbing, and I was like, man, stoners are the scrub kings. Like if you need to find some shit, you'll find some shit.
For sure.
I don't want to hear it.
But like
I don't wanna
the
hear-
toughest thing is stoners, and you might find yourself in this spot. So let's be honest about it. It makes taking step one so tough, especially if
Yeah.
you're high, trying to get more to smoke more. The amount of time that you
Yes.
make 17 excuses to not go find a lighter, to not go
Yeah.
like
absolutely.
take that first step, and then let the weed's creativity kick in. Is
That's
how
what
I
I'm
thought about
saying.
stacking. I think one of the big things at the stigma part of marijuana, how we're gonna be able to confront that over the next couple of years, is introducing coffee and cannabis being utilized together. It's
Oh
simple,
yes.
but people don't talk about it. People don't talk about just the difference in effects you get.
I hate drinking
Absolutely.
coffee, but I love drinking coffee and tree together. But I try not to do it that often because I feel like it'll get me in a loop of drinking coffee, and I don't want that.
There was
I
in
get you.
the during my older siblings' days, they actually used to call it like poor man's meth or poor man's Adderall. Like you couldn't go get the
Oh, wow.
prescription to like focus, but like the weed's enough that you have that activated, creative, zoned in feeling. The caffeine actually gives you enough motivation, action to take. The issue I find with this is so many stoners I know have insane caffeine addictions that we can't even prove this point ourselves that they work well together, because we just drink coffee all day like water and it doesn't do anything anymore. But if you have a healthy relationship with the two plants, they are two plants, It's amazing what you can
True.
get done.
Well, what's funny is it's I don't think it's from the same plant, but I know it's from the same chemical family, or caffeine and nicotine, and you even hear that sometimes with nicotine, right, where people will pair weed and nicotine. It's often why people smoke blunts.
Yeah.
But even like on a streamlining and nicotine way, there's people that do that and will utilize that together.
Yeah.
And as well. So that makes a lot of sense.
That's 100% like it's like adding an extra sativa buzz when you smoke a blunt.
Yeah.
Especially
Right.
having taken a long break and gone back and smoked a tobacco cone or two recently. It's just like that head buzz and swirl. It
Yeah.
does that. It keeps you more awake. Like you can smoke like a heavy indica in a blunt and you're not passing out like you do if you smoke a heavy indica in a long
I was just
joint.
gonna say from a heavy blunt smoker, blunts start off mad heady, but the more you smoke them, the more they hit your body.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely.
Like them bitches, like oh no, them bitches like bro, they
I kind of
start
feel that
weighing on.
way. It's like it's a watered down version, but I even feel that way when you mix some CBD and THC. Like for me, it'll start out. I'm like, oh, this feels relatively normal, like a normal bowl, and then 20 or 30 minutes in, I'm like, oh no, this has settled into a more comfy in the body than just smoking a normal bowl. You know what I mean?
Yep, you get those
Feel that
little
way, for
CBD
sure.
strains that surprise you up top, and you're like, wow. And
Yes.
then they do all seem to like settle like a body warmth. I almost feel like CBD.
That's
like
a great way to
body
put it.
warmth, like a blanket, very nice blanket that
Yep.
molds around you and just
Yes.
holds you there.
I've really noticed that with vaping CBD flower out of the one vape and through like some glass. That is like I'll do that like mid workday, just some straight CBD, and I find 20 minutes after that I'm like, whoa, like talking is just a little easier. I speak a little more fluid, a little clearer. That's been really nice, and of course the flavor is phenomenal.
I can only imagine having really only combusted CBD flower to this point. Just like processing that. Vape's on the way. I can't wait to throw some of that up into the vape.
Oh, it's
because
delicious.
The tastes are incredible.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I have some OG lime coming from Jackson, and I want to put that in the vape.
That's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
taste
good.
really good.
It's gonna be really good. Jackson's
I,
Terp Kings.
Tasty flower for sure.
hey, bro. Speaking of right, shout out Flow Gardens, bro. Shout out Flow Gardens.
True. I find though that a lot of people don't even know how much they gotta shout out Flow Gardens. So it's a lot of the times where you're saying shout out some company. Yeah, shout out that company because they got an exclusive deal, exclusive grow with Flow Gardens. Most of your THCA vendors, they want to work with Flow Gardens. They want Flow Gardens to grow them a couple drops.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, shout
Yeah,
out
they got-
Flow Gardens. There's some tasty stuff on the market right now.
Oh yeah, so like that blue runs, bro. That's some THC right there. We were talking about CBD, but bro, man, that blue runs, bro. Hey, bro,
Yeah.
blue run. Y'all heard it here. One of the best strains I had this year.
Wow, yours
Oh,
says
yeah.
29. Mine said 30. I'm going to have to. Maybe it's two different batches.
Wait, what?
Yours
Could
says
be.
29 on the front. Mine said 30 when I had that.
Oh, true,
little
true,
bit ago.
true.
Yeah. Could
That or I just lied in my video title. I can't remember at this point. I very well might have inflated my video title for
Jared Juice Cap. Jared Juice Cap.
Jerry
You heard it
Juice
here first.
Caps.
be. Yeah. Just round up by one.
California would allow me to round up by 10.
True.
I mean,
True.
And add
Not
Turk
wrong.
Red too.
and then add Terps on top of it. Tell everyone it's
Hilarious.
really keefy, even though you just have a fiber holding additional keef to the flower. Yes, that trick is well known at this point. Some of these, the first time I saw that happen in THCA market, I was pissed though, because what they'll do is they'll take the trichomes and then they got this fiber that I can't remember what type of fiber it is now, but that basically sticks very well to the trichomes. So the trichomes stick incredibly well to this, and then this also sticks incredibly well to the flower, apparently. So it's just holding on like triple the amount of trichomes as would naturally be on the flower. And it's I don't know. It's just kind of laughable. I saw it happen a couple of times at the end of Delta 8, and it would, if Delta 8 flour was to be a long-standing thing for some weird reason, this would have been a phenomenal way to redo the types of infusions people were doing.
Yes.
But it's now just being used to hold extra trikes on the flour.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And usually
Well, and it's
California
funny-
people.
Yes.
Why y'all have had the longest standing market. I guess that means like there's always somebody trying to find a way to have a
People getting
differentiator
bored.
and to get to the top. Or you said they get bored. That's very true too. It's just wild. Like, especially the youth of the cannabis community. They look up to everything that happens in California, and this is what y'all showing them.
Bullshit. And bro, I mean, man, people be falling for it all too, bro. Like the snow cap. I love snow cap. Don't get it wrong. You see this?
Yeah.
This is isolate. This is what people make snow caps with. So you know, I can't really. I got some of the This is a snow blunt. But what's wrong with snow caps?
They
It's just
take
weird.
some $20
They take
an
some.
eighth
It
flour,
is.
throw some.
No, they take some. They take some $30 an ounce. I think we talking Cali. It's people that can get that shit for that low out there, bro. For the mids, yeah, you can go get some shit for 30 to zip, bro. Easy. And they take that 30 to zip, right? They put a little terp on that hoe. They shake this. They shake that isolate on it. Now you took a $30 zip, turn it into a $300 zip. That easy.
Yep. Keyword.
No
California, if
exaggeration
you want
either.
to go try snow caps, find ones that don't mention the word flavor, as that is when they add terps to keep the isolate on. If they're using quality enough flour that is a
You don't
little
need
bit
that.
fresher to
I mean,
harvest,
yeah,
you don't need to add terps. You don't need
Oh,
to
absolutely.
add distillate to keep your isolate on the flour. It'll just sit there. It's kind of
I make
wild
my
how well it sticks.
Oh,
I made my
absolutely.
I made my own snow caps at the crib, and bro, like they not gonna look as coated, of course, if you don't add no extra shit. But they hitting just as hard as the big ones, like the ones that got all the extra shit on them. And they taste better too, cause it ain't straight isolate and fucking extra shit you burning. But
Well, and
they got it's
yeah,
been like you just smoking that strain, like with it added a little extra lemon. But
and I
what
think,
I think is a lot of these what.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think a lot of these companies even might be adding a little bit of CBD isolate or something with them bitches too, cause like it be too much. This shit is not cheap, bro. This shit
No,
not cheap at
no,
all, bro. Like at all. A cheap zip of isolate is like 300, and that is on the low. That's on the low.
yes,
So
yep,
I mean,
that
that's
being
consumer
said,
numbers. So 300,
yeah,
40% off. We're talking like the company is getting it for $1.60, $1.80 probably.
but it's still
yep,
expensive as fuck.
Yeah, that's
yeah, oh yeah. Well, and I think you get to a certain point with stuff like this, with snow caps and whatnot, where, like, yeah, we've all had snow caps and moon rocks and stuff, but then you get to a point where it's almost gimmicky. It's like, yeah, okay, but like, how much of that, do you need? And then, especially if companies chase, we want to have the most
yeah.
coated snow caps that look like essentially a fucking ball of snow. Yeah, then you're gonna have either extra
Just
terps or
offer
distillate or
them.
something on there, and yes, and it's just like, I don't know. At some point, it's almost like if you, and I hate comparing cannabis to liquor, but it's almost like if you went to a liquor store and like there's a type of person that goes to a liquor store for a fine bottle of wine. There's another person that goes to a liquor store and they're like, I want a bottle that's got like vodka and rum and whiskey and beer and all this shit. It's like, okay,
Pre-mixed Long Island.
what's the point? Yeah, but like times 1,000. It's like, at some point, it's like, if you want to get obliterated, just get really
Morning
quality cannabis.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
You
for
know, like-
sure.
You
I
want to
like
get
I
obliterated,
almost
don't
think
get
like
luck on
it's
Sunday.
like I don't know, as a company, if I was a business owner, I see snow caps as an opportunity, and this is
Right.
opportunity. Some of that flour I didn't feel comfortable selling before, like the B-level nugs that I put to
Yep.
the side and I was going to smoke myself because they didn't look nice enough to put into bags. Like those are the ones that are being put as snow caps. There's a
Mhm.
variety of reasons you would set nugs to the side. Like I don't think any
Right.
company is going out there and saying these are our 7 best nugs from this bag. These are the ones we're going to go
Right.
make snow caps out of.
Right.
I mean, sometimes it could even be like, this is a strain we don't think lives up to our standards in total, so we're not going to list it on the website. Let's just turn it into snow caps and list it.
For sure.
Well,
It's-
I think this is also a weird byproduct of the hemp loophole, because think about it. If you as a grower, say you're a hemp farmer, hemp grower, if you had the ability to sell your either non-compliant crop or maybe your lesser than crop to a dispensary that then could extract that and do some really good concentrates, you could still profit off of it. Where maybe now as a hemp company, if you have some B tier or C tier level flower that you can't offload to a dispensary,
For sure.
you either have to cut your price or do some altnoid shit or make a snow cap, or right. You're forced to have to.
Yeah.
And if you had a way to
Makes me-
sell it,
Yes, it makes me think.
And-
how many
Honestly,
people are
I
using
even feel
straight
like-
hemp, like real hemp, like 6% CBD, no
Right.
other cannabinoid hemp for their snow
Yeah.
caps.
That's what I was just
Because
finna say, bro. I was just finna say that,
isolate.
I just finna say, bro. This shit 99%, bro. So it don't take, you know what I'm saying? You can put that bit on anything, that shit gonna slap, bro. Put that bit on the stick outside that you found, you're gonna get high, right? So I would just gonna say, bro, I feel like a lot of companies be using like maybe some fresh little CBD, like some fresher, like older you know what I'm saying, or some shit like they want to go on you like, all right, but it's out the market at this point. We got the THC and we getting this shit ain't
Oh,
selling.
yeah.
Let's get it
With some
going.
legislation changes, how many companies are rushing to get that HHC off the shelf? Who thought that would be gone
No
before
kidding.
Delta 8 on a federal level?
right.
I mean,
Well,
and
yeah.
that is being pushed by the payment processors. So that means
Right.
that's happening.
Right.
You're
Yes.
going to
yes.
see THCO finally died. We
Yeah.
talked about that
Yeah.
dying, a year
Yep.
and a half ago, and now it's finally
Yeah.
dying because everyone jumped to a conclusion because they didn't have a legal background. I don't either, but I could have told you THCO was being regulated. That doesn't mean you can't sell it.
Right. Yeah.
HHC is now in that same bundle. It's considered synthetic. It's actually cited as one of the ones being listed, so there's no ifs, ands, or buts. They
Yep.
basically, September is the hard cutoff, meaning that these companies, the way the rest of this, probably February, March of next year, they're going to need to have it off their shelves to not have the risk of it being seized. Payment processors might cut it off quicker, even, and tell them to sell it
True.
quicker. How many of these companies are going to start sneaking that into, like, if you can't see the flower, feel the flower, taste the flower? I mean, even concentrates, I get a little sketch sometimes. It feels a little off.
Oh,
from
for
some
sure.
Companies, I'm like, did they
For
mix
sure.
20%, 10%? Did they cut it? Snow caps, they have a
Absolutely.
whole layer of white dust.
Oh
Being
yeah.
stuck on by what we're told is terp. It might be HHC
Right.
in there, and is that a bad
Oh
thing?
yeah.
It depends who you is, but it ain't honesty.
It's not honest. Exactly. Exactly. Yep. Well, and then what's stopping a company from buying pounds of some CBD Reggie? You can't tell, like you said. You could contribute. You could put on a stick out back, and it would get you stoned. So it's like if you really want to go the the snow cap route, make your own. Get quality flour. Get some isolate, and then there you go.
I ain't gonna let y'all know
What
when we
about
get this on the
this?
boat.
What about?
But I know
what
where to
if
get this on the boat. Hit me up.
a company, a little drop down for all those strains. It has like a snow cap plus $5 or something. Because there's a little
Yeah.
labor that goes into it. There's probably about $1 a product, as we just broke down. If they're going to make an eighth really nice and coated, probably going to take about a gram, maybe less if they're trying to do it. But
Yeah.
right, if they really want to bless it, about a gram. So
Right.
some
Right.
labor plus $5.
Nah, a gram. It would take way more than a gram to cover an eighth. It take 10 grams to. Well, let me think. Cause I know it take 10 grams to cover. Nah, it could. Nah, yeah, a gram.
One thing I'm surprised companies haven't done is added isolate to their shake. Call it like snow or some shit.
Bruh,
I've done that
dog.
before, and it's
I've done that, but that's that move because guess what? With shakes, it spread way more. Like nugs are bigger. You're losing more
That's
when you
their
do it
infused
like that. When you're
pre-rolls,
trying to
though.
break it open and shit, you be losing it. It's all in your finger. Shake, pour
Yeah.
that bitch. You ain't gotta
They're
lose
infused
nothing.
pre-rolls.
yeah. Yep.
They're infused pre-rolls.
Shake it
of
in there
that,
and then-
shaking it over with isolate.
Yep. Yeah, that's nice.
You get me?
But
I might just call me another zip of isolate, bro.
with the whole
Mhm.
synthetic cannabinoid assault, I'd be really careful with infused pre-roll for the next little
No
bit.
kidding.
Make sure you've seen one
Yeah.
open before you smoke
Man,
them.
I
Just
feel like,
because
bro.
I would hate for a company, and I've been in the industry for a little bit now. I think it's more important than ever to make sure you trust who you're buying from, because even the companies that are run by good people, money is a factor, a driving
100% it
factor.
is.
It's
Absolutely.
how you make your living, how you pay for things. Once you start to make a little money, it starts to become a little bit easier to justify making more money.
Yes. And
Um,
justify the means by which you do so. For sure.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
imagine an ounce of distillate for $9. That's what they're trying to offload these final
Yeah.
ounces of HHC. The stuff will. A lot of people hate on it. It'll get you stoned, and you won't notice if it's little amounts.
Yeah.
It just,
No, it's
but
it's wild. That's why you gotta. It's gotta go legal federally and let the people grow. Like, I'll say it again. Let the people grow. It's that's where it has to be headed. And that's, in my opinion, the only way you can mitigate any of those weird kind of integral issues that are just going to happen because people are running it. You're going to have greed. You're going to have people cutting corners. The only way to 100%
Hey.
control it is grow it yourself.
That made me think. That made me think. That made me think with the HHC stuff. Companies like, I'm gonna go ahead and say 'em. I mean, well, no, they began with a B and end with a D, and have an oid in between all of that. Probably guess what I'm talking about. I feel like companies like that with this HHC stuff going like out of market, I would be real suspicious of they new THCA carts or whatever that's gonna come through, because they just, bro, they have a track record of capping a lot on them boxes. Like, something will say, or yeah, for example,
This
see, we
says
got big,
THCA. It's 100% HHC from cookies.
we got big dogs like that doing that. So what the little fish finna do?
Exactly. You know.
I was
Hate
so
that shit.
surprised by this pen, but same type of thing. AFF blend from Melt, like, had such a clean, nice feeling to it, but then you start reading the labs, and this is the one advertises there's no THCA in there. Well, I can tell you, the live resin terpenes were amazing, but the THCA at 0.3%, don't think I really did a whole lot to me.
No.
But it's interesting that some companies literally took the legal standpoint and position on the market that they weren't going to engage in THCA concentrates in pens. That HHC was the 50-state move because THCA pens could go hot, and it just wasn't the right business move. Because now THCA does remain legal by all of the hemp bills, but HHC certainly not.
No.
You sound like you have something to say. What do you want to tell the people? Good job.
That's hilarious. No, it's true.
He's not a
though.
fan
It,
of
uh,
HHC because
I love
you
that
can't
shit.
trust the creator of it, right? It's like tough to trust, Besides like Clear, do you really trust a company to make you a clean HHC? I mean, and even Clear, what causes us to trust them? Just a good track record over years.
Right.
Like, what were we looking for? Were we looking for the right things?
Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely.
Weird spots.
It
Guys,
is. It's
just be
interesting.
careful these next few months. We're
Yes.
blessed that this all stayed legal, but there are companies that it seems like they're actively working against it. Pull a couple sketchy things because they want to make a few more bucks before it becomes illegal. Why not run the market right and show how this should be the true market over there? Nothing's done till it's done. I just don't think that the current industry community leaders are propelling us the right direction, pulling us in the right direction sometimes. They're so money driven. I don't know. I looked around some of the larger companies. 3 of them now have Kratom products on their website. Aren't you hemp companies?
Oh, interesting.
under the guise
Mm.
of herbal healing. And yes, kratom can do some phenomenal herbal healing, guys. I've seen it help opiate addicts not
Mhm.
have to like stay from relapsing, stay
Yeah.
clean.
Yep.
But it's being advertised as making you super chill or super energetic. It's
Yeah, it's interesting,
head shops,
especially when you're a
baby.
hemp company.
Yeah.
That's
They call it
the
head
weird
shop,
pivot.
a head shop, because anything that can change how your head feels would be sold there. Like that was one of the reasons of it getting said name.
Mm-hmm.
These companies are a little bit more like a head shop in said respect, especially when a year ago. So much talk about medicine, which, by the way, be very careful using that term in the hemp market because it's another one of the things that's going to get us in trouble. You running around claiming things are medicine.
Yep.
Which they are when they touch down at the consumer's house and the consumer says it is. As
their experience.
As the company, you can't sell it as such.
No.
We're not even, dispensaries can't even do that.
No.
Thank you, Frank. See you out there, homie. I think we were giving away another eighth or another 3/8 of flour.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna start putting that little wheel together. Should have done that beforehand, but homies, I'm behind today.
Hey, no worries, man.
The munchie just started hitting
So
wild.
Actually, we're doing something different. I guess it's not a wheel, or we're selecting it based on the story, so that's fun.
Oh, nice.
We were doing the weekly giveaway is please tell us your worst experience so far ordering flour online. I thought this was going to get a lot more vile than it got.
You're
honestly.
right.
You guys kept it very tame. I feel like some people didn't enter this week because they were worried what would happen if they posted their story out there for everybody to see. Either of you got your worst story real quick so I can step outside and take a rip?
Absolutely. Oh, my worst story of buying flour online. Oh. I got two. I got one that's an experience of just the process of ordering online, and one is about the product. So the first one, the process. I ordered a product once from a company. I love the company, but when I got the product to my door, it legitimately looked like the mailman had stepped on it like several times. I mean, it was mangled and smushed. The box on the inside was smushed. It was horrible. It literally looked like they played kickball with it. And then the worst product ever, I got flour from a company once that was moldy and had half of a bug carcass in it, and that was by far the worst product I ever got online.
My worst experience, hands down, bro. I forgot about this and I would have entered it, but I was really thinking about this in the moment, bro. Oh my goodness, this happened when I first started my channel. I ain't gonna say first, but in the early fucking makings of my channel, I had this one company that I thought was really nice because I used to fuck with them in a Delta 8 days and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking, goddamn, they got TACA. Let's see what's up. That shit probably finna be gas. Like, we had a Delta 8 coming through. I know that shit finna know, bro. I copped that shit, bro. It was kind of low too. And you know, everybody smoking good and paying less. It's always been my move. It's always been, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, let's see what's up. Cop this shit, bro. Man, this shit get to the dough. I'm making a video. I'll open this shit on camera. I'll open the pack. And it is little fucking, man, like, I don't even know, like, diamonds aren't really that expensive. I mean, diamonds aren't really that cheap. So for them to have just been fat ass diamonds on the butt, I don't understand. Like, it just didn't.
I remember this
Oh
one.
no.
I had fat ass little, like, I had like, I ain't gonna say fat ass, but I had little pieces of diamonds all up on my buzz. The shit
Like
smelled.
rocks on the bud.
Yeah, like pebbles, little fucking
There was
No.
little ass
another
pebbles.
member of the server who had a very nice camera, went and bought himself an eighth of the flour to double check this, zoomed in with said camera, and took pictures of all the diamonds.
And they was claiming it
Zoomed
was a
in
type
on
too. Right?
the listing of the website had and could see the diamonds. But the owner said, what did he say? Those are just some big trichomes.
Trichomes. He said those are trichomes. But look,
What?
look, the flower looked like wet. Like the trichomes on the flower were like damn near like they look like somebody just rubbed them. You know what I'm saying? It looked
Ah,
like somebody did.
yes.
There wasn't no trichomes on the bud. And but with the flower, okay, so it was supposed to be a type 2, but it was infused like CBD that was turped up and put like diamonds or something on it. And then so when I hit him up about it, I was like, "Yo, bro, I think this is infused. Like, you should change the title on it. It ain't no type 2, like infused. Like, even you know what I'm saying? Even say type 2 infused or whatever." And he was like, "It's not infused, blah blah blah. You're seeing trichomes, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm not gonna argue with you." Like, I bro, oh my, you
Yeah, that was a good one.
Wow.
that was the worst experience. And not only did you send me some booth, and then he was like, "You get what you pay for." That's what he said. Like, what the fuck? No, no.
Wow.
Yeah, I see
That shit
that
got me.
company in specific growing a lot right now, and all do. And it's he seems to be handling himself as a wee bit different. I think that's a lot to do with it. Like I almost respect how he's been speaking as of recently because he's taken much more respectful tone and is
Interesting.
fighting the right battles. So shout out to him on real quick. I haven't seen anything that looked like what Ganja Bear got that time since Ganja Bear got it that time. Um, everything's
Well, that's
much better. So everyone should shoot to always improve.
Yeah.
Huh. You guys shared some awful